Assalamu alaikum. Dear students, as we have discussed in our earlier session that from the lecture 6 and 7 you can practice on journal entries, how to record the journal entries, how to post the journal entries into the ledger, and at the end of the ledger you will have some balances, and for proving the mathematical accuracy you can post the balances into the debit and credit side. If the balance is there, then you can say yes, your posting of every journal entries and the posting of it to the ledgers is mathematically correct. But there are some more important areas to cover, and this is the lecture 8, 9 and 10, and we will discuss on the areas of adjusting journal entries on this session. Actually this session includes your lecture 8, 9 and 10 from the module. Before listening to my discussions or lectures, I would rather request you to go through the lecture 8, 9 and 10 and then start your listening. From lecture 8 we will discuss the concept of adjusting journals or adjusting entries, why we need to do the adjusting journal entries. As you can see that from your module, the first page of lecture 8, it covers the answer of your questions, adjusting, closing and reversing entries. From the accounting cycle we know that it starts from the journal and then you posting to the ledger and then trial balance, but this is not the end of the steps of accounting process. At the end of the process, that is the fourth step, we need to adjust the entries which is not yet recorded or we need to be recorded, and these are some of the steps or types of adjustments that is discussed over here, but I will discuss on the types by using some examples. In the second page, lecture 8, you can see asset expense adjustments, and the examples that is used over here, please try to understand. In the trial balance, supplies stock has a debit balance of taka 10,000. You have a stock of you have some stock of supplies in your hand and it is your assets. So, you are recording these assets into debit. An actual physical count at the end of the year, your physical count shows that you have only 3,000 worth of supplies on your hand. So, 7,000 is already expensed. So, we need to record this expense. How? To adjust the following journal entries, we can follow the formula by using this one. On December 31, supplies expense debit, expense we know that expense is debit and it is amounted to taka 7,000, and since our assets is at the same time reduced by 7,000. So, supplies stock or supplies inventory will also be credited at the same time by 7,000. So, debit is expense and asset is reduced and it is credited. In case of the second example, assets revenue account, you can see a company invests some amount in fixed deposit account, interest is received twice a year, that is you are receiving some interest on your investment twice in a year, on May 1 and November 1 in the amount of taka 1200 on each date. Now, we can see how these entry can be recorded. On December 31, interest receivable is showing debit at an amount of taka 400 and it is credited by interest income 400. How? The calculation is given over here. You can see you are given 400 by using this formula 1200 into 2 divided by 6. In case of the third example that is from the liabilities and revenue adjustments, example 7, wages paid for 4 weeks on December at an amount of taka 2,000 per week, but the wages for the last 3 working days accrues at the year end closing date. So, wages expense would be recorded rather 1000 not by 2000, and wages payable is 1000 because only this payable is accrued. So, we have to record 1/2 of a week wages, you can see the note. And in the case of type 4 adjustments, liability revenue adjustments, rent received in advance for 3 years by an amount of taka 3000. So, you have received some rent in advance, but this rent you are not showing it as an income until and unless you are not receiving the money, or until and unless the date is not over yet. So, on January 1 you are recording cash by 3000, unearned rent credit by 3000, but at the end you can see unearned rent is debited and rent income is credited. So, it is the adjustment that we are talking about. So, this is the lecture 8, and this is the basic concepts of adjusting entries, and these concepts will help you to get some ideas when you are preparing worksheet at the end of these lectures. On lecture 9 you can see we will talk about the preparation of worksheet. On lecture 9 the discussions include some ideas on the preparation of worksheet, but before starting before saying anything about the preparation of worksheet, I rather request you to go through the problem 1. In this problem 1 you can see there are some accounts that is given by the amount on by debit and credit. Prepaid insurance debit to 2700, supplies on hand 750, office equipment 8400, earned and rental fees 3000, salaries expense 2100, 2100, rental fees earned 12,000. But these are the accounts balance, and there are some journal entries, that is the that we can define it, term it as adjusting journal entries. You can see prepaid insurance represents premium for 3 years paid on January 1. So, prepaid insurance 2700, that is the 2700, but this money is given and this is for 3 years. So, how this amount will be adjusted? And in case of supplies 450 were on hand at the end on January 31 at the end of the month. Office equipment is expected to last for 10 years. The firm collected 6 months rent in advance on January 1. So, the rent that is given over here is the amount that we recorded for next 6 months, but we need to do the adjustment for only 1 month. So, how can we adjust these journal entries? So, the solution says insurance expense for 1 month, 3 years means 36 months, and if we divide 2700 by 36 months, only 75 taka is for 1 month. So, since we are doing our adjustment for only 1 month, taka 75 is the amount, not the 2700. So, the calculation would be 2700 into 1 divided by 36, because we are calculating, or we are trying to find out the insurance expense for only 1 month, and for that we need to do these adjustments. Insurance expense would be recorded as debit, you know why the expense is recorded as debit, and prepaid insurance is simultaneously, this is an asset which is now reduced by this amount 75. And in case of the supplies, we know only 450 is on hand. So, 300 is expensed. So, supplies expense would be recorded by 300, and your on hand supplies now would be reduced by 300. Depreciation, by doing the same calculation procedures, annual depreciation is 8400, but we need to find out only the depreciation for 1 month. So, it is the 70. So, depreciation expense for 1 month on your equipment is debited by taka 70, and simultaneously it will be accumulated to your total equipment depreciation by 70. So, this is the process, and in case of salaries, you can see accrued salary is not recorded, of January 31 at 360. So, your salaries expense would be debit and your salaries payable, because you are not yet paid out your salaries. So, the salaries is accrued. So, these are the process of recording or the posting or the process of adjusting your journal entries. Now, see how these journal entries is rather adjusted to the worksheet. Actually, worksheet is a paper or a spreadsheet where you are posting all of your items at the end of the trial balance. You are adjusting the trial balance. After adjustment, some data should be newly recorded, and at the end your trial balance would be newly adjusted, and at the end balance sheet and income statement will show that yes, you have done all the procedures rightly. So, dear viewers, please try to solve this problem, try to practice this problem in your home again and again. Dear students, this is an example of a worksheet, and you can see the specimen of worksheet is given over here, and the worksheet is a form like this, and this is a actually spreadsheet, and you can do it on your computer on your Excel sheet. This is the first column, accounts title, and the second column is known as trial balance. This is the trial balance that you have already practiced, and this is the ledger balance and debit and credit balance, and this is the adjustments that we are talking about. When any adjustment is needed with this amount, this adjustment will be shown over here, and after adjustments the amount will be shown over here. This is the adjusted trial balance, and from this cash, this is a item that would be recorded over here. This is the balance sheet, and maybe the supplies expense is not posted to this balance sheet. If the supplies on hand, then it would be recorded on balance sheet, but if the supplies is expense, then it would be recorded on income statement. So, there are column 1, that is the accounts title, column 2 trial balance, column 3 adjustments, column 4 adjusted trial balance, column the next column is the income statement, and the last column is the balance sheet. So, if you can do it, if you can practice it by your own in your home, that then you can, I can say that yes, you have done something best part of the accounting. Dear students, while we are talking about the first sample of our worksheet, we know that at the end we will need to have some data for adjusting entries, and these data were given. After reading the data quite a bit, I hope you can solve this example. Let us see what these examples includes. You can see the accounts title and see what the numbers over given over here into the adjustment columns, and these numbers will help you to figure out why the adjustments are made, when the adjustments and where the adjustments are made. In the cash account, no adjustments. So, it is directly posted to the adjusted balance. Accounts receivable sections, this is the figure 2220, and here the figure is 2720. So, 500 is adjusted. This is the item that is given over here in the adjustment columns. This is number E. So, let us find why this figure is written over here or included over here. You can see on E point, fees earned, this is for 500. So, fees earned is credited and accounts receivable is debited. So, we were some we had completed some jobs, we have completed some services, the earned in the income is not received, now it is received, and so we are showing it as the receivable should be reduced and the income should be included, and this is the income, the fees earned is the income, and it is shown into the adjusted balance by 500. So, in this manner you can see the second item supplies 2000, and adjustment is over here 1240, and the A on A the other item is 1240, that is the 1240. Why? Because supplies is recorded over here as expense, this is the expense, and the supplies on hand now would be reduced to 760. So, this is the on hand supplies and this is the expense. In this manner you can record, you can adjust your adjusting entries with the trial balance, and the other adjusted balance can be recorded over here, and all these balance should be, all these figures should be balanced at the end. So, try to remember that your balance should be, your figure should be balanced, otherwise your posting would be incorrectly recorded. Dear students, while you are doing the worksheet or while you are preparing the worksheets, you have to have some clear understanding about the accounts title, because some of the accounts items would be treated as assets, some of them are liabilities, some of them are expenses, and others are revenues. So, while the worksheet is preparing, the cash, account receivable, these sort of items would be recorded to the balance sheets, and you need to post them to their perfect sides, or some of them would be recorded as debit or some of them as recorded as credit. But at the end you can see on your example 3 how this recording, how this posting is posted over here. Example 3 worksheet with amounts extended to income statement and the balance sheet column. So, example 3 is a full balance sheet, but at the end the balance is not drawn. But on your example 4 you can see on the screen, yes, on the example 4 you can see the balance is drawn, and at the end you can see the balance 7,205. It is the income, it is the income from the income statement, and this income, because our credit is higher than our debit. So, it means that our revenue is higher than our expenses. So, 7,205 is the amount which is be treated as income, and this income will be recorded into the credit sides, because it is the owner's equity sides. So, at the end the balance, the figure is showing the balance. If the balance is not there, then we can say that yes, we need to correct, we need to recorrect our process of preparing worksheet. While the worksheet is completed, you may separately prepare a financial statements, but while you are preparing financial statements, this is nothing tough, because if you know the income statement, if you know the balance sheets, what kind of accounts should be recorded into the income statement, what kind of accounts should be recorded in the balance sheet, then your you need to know the process of process of posting the accounts into the income statement or the balance sheet, and the format which is given over here: financial statements prepared from worksheet, Computer King Corporation income statement for the 2 months ended December 31, 2000. In this income statement, you see the revenue that is given over here on your worksheet is written, and at the end of the revenue, expenses that is given over here is recorded, and 7,20,500 is the amount of your net income. This is the correct amount, and the at the end the dividend is distributed. So, this is the retained earnings statement, and after that a balance sheet is prepared. But look, this balance sheet is prepared on the basis of the balance sheet that is prepared on the worksheet. So, you need to know the format, you need to know the designs, you know the diagram or the structure of preparing a balance sheet, because you have the understanding, because you have the you know the accounts title, you know the which accounts is transferring to where, and this idea, these concepts will help you to doing this balance sheet. nothing more than that. So, dear students, at the end of lecture 10 we have discussed in this session of lectures, lecture 9, 10, 8, 9, 10, and these lectures actually include the ideas of worksheet, concepts of worksheet, why the adjusting journal entries are need to recorded, how this recording process will be computed and posted, and at the end worksheet will help you to give you a complete scenario about your company's accounting position of a month or for a year. Dear students, some of the very comprehensive illustrative problem is included in your module on lecture 10, 11, 12, and I hope if any of you go through the examples again and again, illustrative problems, if you practice these illustrative problems again and again, and I hope you will don't have any other problem regarding this. But if you feel any thing to discuss with us, you have the contact number, you have the web address, please feel free to contact us. Thank you. Allah Hafiz.